Did you know that Friday the 13th is considered unlucky in many cultures, but not all of them? In fact, some cultures consider 13 to be a lucky number. But why has this particular day become the world's most feared date? I'm your host, Jeremy, the Common Historian, and today we're diving deep into one of the most persistent superstitions. From ancient mythology to modern day fears, Friday the 13th has earned its reputation as a day when millions of people change their behavior, avoid important decisions, and even refuse to leave their homes. But here's the fascinating challenge we're facing. Where did this superstition actually come from? The fear of Friday the 13th, known as Parascadiva Katrina phobia, affects millions of people so severely that it causes real economic impacts. Airlines report lower bookings, hotels skip the 13th floor, and some people call in sick to work. But the origins of this fear are far more complex than you might think. We're dealing with the convergence of two separate superstitions that somehow merged into one powerful cultural phenomenon. The real mystery isn't just why we fear the day, but how two distinct fears, the fear of Friday and the fear of the number 13, became so intertwined that they created what some consider the most unlucky day of the year. Let's start with the number 13. In Christian tradition, 13 is associated with betrayal. Judas was the 13th guest at the Last Supper before betraying Jesus. But the fear goes even deeper than that. In Norse mythology, the god Loki was the 13th guest at the dinner party in Valhalla, leading to the death of the beloved god Balder. Now, Friday has its own dark history. It traditionally has been called Hangman's Day because executions often took place on Fridays. In Christian belief, Friday is significant because it is the day Jesus was crucified, what we now call Good Friday. But here is where it gets interesting. These two superstitions didn't combine until relatively recently in history. Ancient Romans actually considered Friday a lucky day, and many cultures view 13 as fortunate. In Jewish tradition, 13 represents the age of responsibility. In Chinese culture, the number 4 is considered unlucky, not 13. The merger of these fears seemed to have intensified during the Middle Ages when both superstitions were reinforced by religious teachings and cultural practices. But here's the moment that many have sealed Friday the 13th's reputation forever. October 13th, 1307, on this exact date, King Philip IV of France ordered the mass arrest of the Knights Templar. Hundreds of these powerful warrior monks were captured, tortured, and eventually executed. This event was so traumatic that some historians believe that it cemented Friday the 13th as a day of bad luck in European consciousness. The Knights Templar were incredibly wealthy and powerful, yet they were completely destroyed on this single day. However, the superstition didn't reach its modern intensity until 1907, when Thomas Lawson published the novel Friday the 13th, about a stockbroker who crashes the market on this day. This book popularized the superstition in American culture. Then Hollywood took over. From horror movies to thriller novels, Friday the 13th became a cultural phenomenon. What started as a separate ancient fears became a modern media sensation, reinforcing the superstition in ways our ancestors never imagined. So there you have it. Friday the 13th isn't just one superstition, but the powerful combination of ancient fears, historical events, religious beliefs, and modern media influence. Whether you are a believer or a skeptic, you can't deny that fascinating journey this superstition has taken through human history. From Norse gods to medieval knights, elements from biblical references to Hollywood blockbusters, Friday the 13th has become one of the most enduring cultural phenomenons. Now I want to hear from you. Are you someone who changes their plans on Friday the 13th? Or do you think it's all just superstition? Drop your Friday the 13th story in the comment below. I read every single one of them. And if you enjoyed uncovering the truth behind this superstition, make sure you check out my other videos exploring the fascinating origins of superstitions around the world. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss an episode. Until next time, stay curious.